grad student at Arkansas State University. I'm part of the social media lab of Dr. Hance. We will be demonstrating the BioPack machine today.
I'm Elizabeth Wilson. I'm also a grad student, and today I'll be the participant.
I'm Ryan Nix. I'm also a graduate student. I'm also in their lab, and I will also be participating today.
Let's take a real quick pause right there. My name is Dr. Hance. That's me, the picture right there. And I'm going to be helping you understand the science that my grad students are showing you with the BioPack machine. All right, let's get back into the video.
Today we'll be collecting data on your physiological response, and so we have 3 measures that we do this with. The first one we do is the respiratory rate. So this will be attached to your chest, like so. You see that? So I'm gonna need you to stand up real quick, please. All right.
While Billy and Elizabeth are getting set up, I want to talk a little more about the respiratory device here. So here in the center of that belt is the respiratory transducer, and here it is measuring the abdominal circumference, and it presents a minimal resistant. It's extremely unobtrusive. Basically, it's measuring though the breaths per minute that the participant would be breathing to see if there's any change throughout our study in breathing.
All right, the next part is skid conductance. Let's see. So I need you to sit down real quick, please. So this is going to go on your index finger and your index finger and your middle finger. It's been a minute. So we're going to need you to use this little scrubby pad to wipe all those dead skin cells off.
You're probably wondering why she's having to rub her fingers with exfoliating pads. That's to get all the dead skin cells off so we can accurately read the sweat glands and their activation from her fingertips.
The black electrode on the middle finger, again, this is collecting skid conductance, or how much sweat you're producing from your glands. I know, kind of a little gross, huh? All right, look at these things. They're pretty cool, huh? So these are electrodes, and so we'll put these on there.
So here, Billy is then applying the electrodes to Elizabeth's 2 fingers, the index finger and middle finger. These already come pre-gelled, which just means it makes it easier for the electrode to read the electrical activity from the sweat glands on the finger. So it feels really like a Band-Aid. So it doesn't hurt one bit. And then it has like the top of a button on the other side of the sticker, and that's what's going to connect to the lead set or the red and black connectors you see Billy applying on now.
Like so. And now we can measure how much sweat she's producing. Again, a little gross, right? All right. Now we have the skid conductance, set up. So now our last thing we have to do is measure your heart rate, which is very similar to what this Apple Watch that Beth has on today does the same thing. Except ours is a little bit more fancy, yes.
While the Apple Watch is fancy, it only has 1 lead for measuring heart rate, even with its fancy ECG app. Whereas with our ECG, we have 3 leads that we'll be using, which will measure 3 directions for the heart's electrical activity, from right to left, up and down, and front to back. Of course, if you were to go to a hospital and have an ECG done, they would actually hook you up with 12 leads, but for our research, 3 will suffice.
Now we're going to take these electrodes and we're going to put these on her inner arm and her inner legs.
So your body's heart depolarizes and repolarizes, which kind of creates like an echo throughout your whole body, to which then that's how we can measure your heart in other places of the body. So here we're getting some very sensitive leads that are connected. So again, it's little connectors. You can think of them that way. And here we have a positive lead, a negative lead, and a ground lead. And that way we can get a better representation of how to accurately measure your heart once we start looking at that on the screen. Fun fact, an adult resting heart rate is anywhere between 60 to 80 beats per minute. However, strenuous athletes or like Olympians, their heart rate could be as low as 50 beats per minute because they exercise so frequently.
There we go. Just like so. And now we're ready to start the biohack machine. So today we are talking about Beth's physiological response. So on this top bar over here, you see ECG, and that's measuring her heart rate. And so, as you can see, there's a lot going on here. But essentially, we're measuring the beats per minute, and we're looking for variance in that. And our respirations, kind of very consistent in that way. And EDA measures the skin conductance here, the bottom bar you see as well. So, Beth, without further ado, could you please put your right arm into that ice bucket, please?
Essentially here, we are putting Elizabeth's body into stress and providing stress. So whenever the body has extreme cold temperatures, the body's stress response starts being activated. So we will soon be seeing elevated heart rate, respiratory rate, as well as skin conductance. But it takes a little bit. So I thought I'd jump in here and let you know.
She's starting to produce more sweat right here, and the EDA, right? Her respirations are starting to increase. Look at that. Her heartbeat, look at these smaller lines showing that her heart rate is increasing. You can remove your hand now, please. Good job, Beth. Wrapping up today, we talked about the electrocardiogram today, which measures your heart rate, which is very similar to your Apple Watch or your Fitbits. Respiratory rate, we talked about that as well, which measures how much respirations you are taking and inspirations. And we talked about skin conductance, how much sweat you're producing. For Beth today, we showed this right here is physiological response, and this is time, right? So we're measuring time. So when we introduced the ice bucket today, we saw a spike in her physiological response today, which is like heart rate, respiratory rate, and skin conductance. And if we didn't have the ice bucket today, we would see this right here, where it stayed the same, nothing changed. So that's essentially what experimental methods are.
Since I've been your guide throughout this video, I thought I would end the video. So I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you got to learn a little bit of the basic understanding of physiological responses that we use in health psychology. As always, if you have any questions, you can contact me through my A-State email. So again, I'm Dr. Margaret Hance. You can contact me through my A-State email, which is on the A-State website. Again, thanks for watching our video. We hope you learned something, and have a great rest of your science festival.